Hey YouTube, I'm enjoying doing these videos. This is just my up close and personal. No, I've changed the name of these all the time. Guitar porn fetish, whatever you want to call them, videos. So this is my Yamaha AEX520. It says it there, which is always a handy thing to do. The serial number is FK162. I don't think Yamaha serial numbers generally give you the year quite as simply as they should. I wish they would just have decided in the 70s that we put the first two numbers as the year. So I just wish it said 00 for 2000 or 89 for 89, 1989 or whatever. I'm going to say this is, that's probably coming up for 20 years old, something like that. I think they still make it. I bought this, you can see there's the damage to it. See there's a split. So this guitar is hollow, proper hollow, both sides, solid centre block, but it's been dropped on it there or something like that. It doesn't make any difference, but you can see it and it's really fucking annoying. Apart from that, it's perfect. Mini humbuckers, tunematic bridge, volume and a tone, all quite simple. Pickup switch there. So I suppose it's kind of like a Les Paul sort of, apart from it's flat. It's also a bit bigger. It's quite a big guitar. I mean, I got this in basically it was so cheap I thought, oh, it's definitely worth twice that. So I bought it. I couldn't believe it when I got it home and I played it and it was like, whoa, I did not. What do you mean? It's a jazz box? How can I like a jazz box? Can't answer that, but I do. It's a lovely guitar. I mean, it's a Yamaha. It's a 5 series. Generally, Yamaha, the first number is how expensive it is. So 5's 500 and something quid, roughly, very roughly. And like a 3 series is 300 and something quid. You know, that kind of thing new. So it's like this is the first guitar that mini humbuckers made sense to me. It is available as P90s. This is a 520, so 5 for 500 odd quids, 2 for 2 humbuckers, and 0 for 0 single coils. So the P90 one's probably a 502. I'm thinking, and I think it's big gold dog ear P90 sort of thing you would get in a guitar like this. So bolt on neck. Very obviously that screw's not original. I don't know if that was me or not. Yamahas tend to say on the back here, it's got electric guitars made by Kao Suing Yamaha in Taiwan. So it's a Taiwanese Yamaha. Taiwanese Yamahas are awful good. This is the Yamaha factory rather than being, oh yes, Yamaha use that factory. No, this is a Yamaha factory. And we all know Yamahas, they're kicking about. I've actually I've played 3 today. They're just awesome. It's interesting. I'm not really sure exactly who it's for. Some sort of jazzy thing, but kind of maybe a modern jazzer who likes one that's relatively light and quite thin and easy to play. But I just find that what I found with this guitar is, it's lovely. It's lovely. Is basically it. And my newfound love of playing clean and doing all that arpeggio stuff and I'm enjoying playing that wee Tirada acoustic will probably transfer very well to this guitar as well. It's kind of almost an acoustic-y sort of neck type thing. It's just one of those things where you never really know what it is you're getting just by looking at it. I mean, and it's a 5 series Yamaha. It's got like that on it, whatever that is. It looks like a joint actually, doesn't it? With water on it. It's like, don't pour water on a doobie or something. I don't know. Good tuners. It's got a scarf join. Neck is, I would say, kind of. It's probably quite a flat radius. I'd say it's a 12-inch radius, and I suppose kind of acousticy, sort of, but not really. Not really. Thinner than an acoustic. Does that make sense? Maybe not that different from a Gibson SG, something like that. Maybe 22 frets. But it's just that there's not really much to say about this one. I'm maybe actually going to manage to get one of these videos down to less than 10 minutes. But I've got a use for it. It's different. And that's enough. It's like, it's really good, obviously, because it's a Yamaha. Yamaha are always really good. But it's different. I don't have any other guitars like this. Obviously, they all play the same chords and the same notes. It's just, it really shines at doing certain things. I was really surprised at the mini humbuckers, how they work with distortion. Amazingly, like, very little distortion. Like, they drive really quickly. Like, see, even in the clean channel, if you batter it, it distorts. Where the weak point would be if you're trying to run it through, like, I don't know, maybe even the rat pedal, or I'll stick it into my Mesa Boogie and play some Metallica. It's not really far. Once you put too much gain on certain pickups, which is basically the kind of pickups I like, because I don't really run very much gain ever. Okay, the rat pedal, it's kind of like a fuzz. Does that really count as gain? Yeah. So I mean, I was also noticing there. This is a prime example of what Gibson came back with after Gibson had bought Epiphone. I've run out of things to talk about this guitar, so I'm going to talk about these pickups. After Gibson had bought Epiphone in 1959 or 60 or in the 60s, something like that, they ended up with all lots of Epiphone parts, including mini humbuckers, which were Epiphone pickups. So what they did was, like, when they decided they were going to bring back the Les Paul after they became popular, because they stopped making it in 1960 or 1959, and in 1969 or something like that, we better make Les Paul, seeing as Clapton's playing one, and Led Zeppelin and Peter Green and all that. So it's the most famous guitar in the world. Yeah, we stopped making it 8 years ago. Well, did you? Right. That was silly. You know what I mean? It's like the fact that there were like nearly a decade when you could not buy a Gibson Les Paul. There you go. So what they did was, this pickup ring is the same size as a P90. So basically, what they did was they could use a routing template for P90s and then put mini humbuckers in with this plastic ring around them. Which works, which does mean that what you can do is, if you've got my pal, actually the pal bought my Les Paul off, has an SG, and he was going to put P90s in it. So basically, it's easy to swap these for P90s because it's the same hole, so you can have P90 and a thing. Maybe put a P90 and a mini humbucker, and that might be quite cool. But I mean, the thing is that this is perfect the way it is. It's like, when something works really well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Really. So that's basically what I'm doing here. It's the same thing as happened with quite a few guitars I've got. If you can't think of an improvement, it's like, why would you want to put P90 in? Because it would look cool. Yeah, but Yamaha knew what they were doing. These pickups are the right ones for this guitar. And it's just, I don't know what to say about these things. It's not the sort of guitar I would gravitate to. It's not the sort of guitar I would fall over and go, that's the one I want to play. But when I actually got it, it's like, this is different. What I found, less so now, but when I first got it, was, oh my god, I can play chords. It made me play chords, which I never really play chords. I just play lead and power chords, but that doesn't maybe actually play chords, maybe just because of what it looks like. I don't know, you've got this kind of thing in your head where it's like, what's it going to be? But there's just, if you've never played a jazz box and you're used to a Strat or a Les Paul or something like that, there's absolutely no problem playing this at all. It's like, you don't have to alter anything you do. Everything's where you think it is. The action, it feels perfect. Everything's just great. It's no issue. Being hollow and stuff, does that make any difference? I don't know. It must be partly to do with the sound. I still had thought I was actually going to Bucky caster this at one point, but I can't do that. It's just, I was so annoyed about that split. The good thing about it is I can actually get in the back, so it does have an access cavity, so I can get in there. And what I could do is put a strip of wood on the inside, wood glue it in and clamp it, which would make it totally solid. But then you're gonna, it's the taking the guitar to bits and try to sand it down and then try to paint the top again, and then it's like, oh, do I do that and then I get Jen to paint it? Maybe it would have to be a very specific paint job for something like this, like maybe lots of just gold and black, maybe mostly black. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this guitar. It's just one of those ones where, with that damage on it, I'm not going to get any money for it. And I would feel, I mean, obviously, the first thing I did was play Black Sabbath on it, because that's the wrong thing to do. Yeah, so sometimes having like a weirdy one, I mean, I'm calling it a jazz box. It's elements of it, I suppose it's a sort of hybrid. It looks jazzy, but doesn't really feel it. The neck's maybe a little bit more like an acoustic sort of, but it doesn't have, and I suppose it's a wee bit Gretsch, actually. It's miles better than the Gretsch I had. I had a Gretsch Streamliner. Miles better guitar, not in the same league. And I don't like 335s. But this isn't a 335. It's big. It's bigger than a normal, like a Les Paul or something like that, but not much. And it's not thin. Maybe that's something to do with it. Because 335s always seem like it's like you know, like the lollipops that lollipop men have or lollipop ladies have. Kind of feels a bit like that. It's like a big thing that's there to catch the wind. You know what I mean? This doesn't seem to have that. It's just got a slightly bigger than a Les Paul. I think it might even be a copy. It's a Ted Nugent's guitar, is it not kind of similar? It's like a Birdland. It's got a pointy horn, but it's kind of not. It's not, let's be honest, it's not the most immediately striking and interesting looking guitar. It just, you go, oh, it's like a jazzy thing, but you can play anything on it. That was a wee bit shorter. Still more than 10 minutes. Catch you later.